guys, it's me, my face, and a pile of whips. I know, no beer again this week. I have wine. It makes me happy. It's snowing out there. I can survive without the beer. I can survive without the beer. As long as I have wine. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitching and mental health and opinions. So if you don't like any of those things, this may not be for you. The algorithm has done you wrong. Last week I had said that if I could get up to 10 whips, I would do a whip parade. I am not up to 10 whips, I'm up to 8. So we're gonna do like a mini whip parade, which is really just my whips plus the two things that I haven't worked on lately. But should. It's like a mini parade. It's like a parade that you don't have to stand out in 107-degree heat and have some fool drip their nasty ice cream on you. I hate parades. I really do. I really don't enjoy parades. Whip parades are okay. I can watch those sitting down with wine. We will start with the crowd favorite, Death by Cross Stitch. I did not do a whole lot in the last week. I just finished that kind of stair step in the purple and filled in those 2 hearts above it, and that's really about it. I realized that putting this back on the Q-snap, I did not leave myself a whole lot of room to function up here. I'm getting kind of annoyed by the Q-snaps. I generally like them, but I'm not getting the tension I want, and it's a pain in the butt to adjust them. So I don't know, maybe for larger projects I'm thinking of going back to scroll frames. I didn't like those all that much either because they were unwieldy and tough to hold on to, and I don't know. I have kind of given up on my plan of working on Death by Cross Stitch like every other time I stitch, just because I don't want to anymore. It's as good a reason as any. The next thing I worked on was Templar Prophecy, and I got a lot done. I am so loving the steamed broccoli. Yes. Look at that dragon. Look at him! Oh my god. I really wanted to be finished with him this week, but there is a lot to him. There is a lot of dragon there. There is a lot of dragon there. Having seen what Steph over at Lindy Stitches has done, she's got her whole top done. It makes me want to do what I was thinking, where instead of working down this page anymore, once I finish the dragon, going all the way across, and then maybe going all the way down and kind of getting my dimensions, because this is bothering me. This is a brand new sweatshirt that I have not worn. Like, I wore it once and it's not worked in yet, to the point that the collar keeps attacking me. I digress. What was I talking about? Width and length. I wanted to get this kind of blocked out to know how wide I need and how long I need, because again, I would like to not have all this extra bunched up around here if I don't need it. It gets in my way, it annoys me. I'm paranoid that I will stitch it to the back of my project and not realize it, and then I'll have to throw it in a fire because I'm not undoing that. But yeah, I have plans. I never get around to doing them, but that's the plan so far. If nothing else, I'm still working on the dragon. Speaking of moving the Q-snap, I moved the hoop on Night Flight. This is my Prairie schooler. And as you can see, let me hide so we can focus. I am continuing to make progress. Not great progress, but there was progress. It happened. I still haven't gone back through and done the back stitch again to fix my mistakes. But but I will. I will. And then we'll have a finish. And then we'll have a new start. Hooray! It occurs to me that if I just start the other one over here, then I have another WIP. Then I'd have 9. And I love the number 9. 9s, 3s, 13s, 33s, 666, 999, multiples, 3s. I like them a lot. I don't know why that just came up here. The next thing that I worked on, that I actually worked on, is my HAED. It's moon hair. It's, indecipherable. Nobody knows what the heck's going on there, but look, there's more of it. Nobody knows what it is, but there's more of it. I could not do this pattern without Pattern Keeper. I have a printout of the pattern. I was fully ready to, use a highlighter. I also I have it as a PDF, so I had it in OneNote, and I was pretty ready to just mark things off there. No, that's barbaric compared to using Pattern Keeper. I could not keep up with what I was doing without it. I wouldn't know what I had stitched. I wouldn't know where the next symbol was. This is actually making me want to stitch on this, which is good because I paid for it and I should stitch it. And I'm going to be happy with it when it's done. It's just slow going. So the next thing I did was my forgotten WIP. I had brought this to my father's house with every intention of working on it on Tuesday nights when I go over there for dinner, and never did. It used to be my work project that I never got to work on at work. Then it was the dad project that I never got to work on at dad's. I brought it home and I did like an entire line in one night. This is Crow's Lullaby from Primitive Hare, and I love it. I love just simply one color, stitching out letters, nothing I need to, there's very little, if I'm off by a stitch, nobody knows. Doesn't matter. Nothing has to key off of everything. The only thing, a tree and some crows come down the side, they can lay anywhere. It's not that big a deal. I like this. It's a low stress project. I need more of those in my life. The next thing that I worked on is a new start. This is the Suffrage Act from Little House Needleworks. It's already on there. I've only just started the lettering. The only called for that I'm going to be using is Cherry Cobbler from Classic Colorworks. All the rest I have swapped out with Victorian motto threads. The only reason I am doing the Cherry Cobbler is at the bottom of this pattern, there's a woman walking on a brick pathway, and the bricks are variegated because the Cherry Cobbler is variegated, and I want that. I'm not willing to part with the variegation on that, and I don't have anything comparable. The only variegated red I think I had, it didn't variegate to like brown. It went to not something that looked bricky, like pink. I didn't like it. So then I went on a quest because, if you're going to order 2 skeins of Classic Colorworks, it's $5 plus $4 shipping just about everywhere you go. I'd already just placed an order with Fat Quarter Shop, so I didn't really need anything there. And, we all joke about how stuff can't travel alone and you always need to buy a pattern, but that's really not how I like to do it. I don't want to buy something just for the sake of buying something to either get myself the free shipping or, to somehow justify the shipping. So I came this close to putting out the call to all of you to say if anybody has an LNS that they could go and pick up 2 skeins of Cherry Cobbler for me and, put them in an envelope with a stamp and I will pay you for that. which is really not something I kept trying to think of how I would word that request. Because, first of all, there's a lot of extremely generous people out there that would just send them to me and not take money for them. And that would be, no, I should not be able to use this forum for, hey, buy me things and have people buy me things. So I was trying to figure out how to ask for that, without sounding like somebody that I didn't want to be. And just as I was telling my sister that, she was saying, well, I'm getting ready to place an order on Fat Quarter. Why don't I just throw those in for you? And it's like, sold. Because she will let me give her the money for that. She will. So long story short, I started on the words because I don't have the cherry cobbler yet. Hopefully they will be in by the time I finish the gray words. Because it's a nice gray, but it's gray. The next project I have is a WIP, but not one that I have worked on in the past week or so. This is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, so it's still kind of right where you remember it. Still not really liking that orange, but I haven't made any changes, so we'll see what happens. That's the other thing I need to get. Oh, I don't think I could get Sulky at Fat Quarter Shop. Can I? I've been looking for just a black spool of the Sulky Petite 12 weight stuff and things. I can find a lot of mixed packs, which is what I bought the first time. I bought the blacks and the black and the grays. But I don't want to buy another whole pack of 8 colors just to get another black spool. There has to be somewhere that I can just get individual colors, right? I haven't seen any. If you have a source for that, of just like one color at a time, or even like I wouldn't mind like a 4-pack of black. That's going to get used. But I don't want to have to keep buying a whole range of grays and never get around to using them every time I need black. I just want a source. No mailing me anything yet. Okay, thank you. The last WIP in the parade is the one that I haven't worked on in the longest time. Poor little haunted mansion. It's still cute. I still really like it. I still have every intention of finishing it. But yeah, I haven't done anything on it because now I have entirely too many WIPs. And the logged on samplers are the ones that I really want to kind of blast through, so everything else gets put on hold. And when I say, God, I don't feel like working on those big projects right now, I pick up Night Flight because I'm so close to finishing that. My God, I could have a finish. I could have a finish in January in 2020. It's impressive for me. It's impressive when I finish anything, even a sentence. So that's it. 8 WIPs, basically. I mean, I'm not counting. I have a Mill Hill kit in there somewhere that I started. It's not an active WIP. I have 3 or 4 of the, It's You I Likes done and started in various stages of doneness. I'm not counting those. That's kind of an ongoing project. I can't even say it's an ongoing project because, they're all just on a big piece of fabric. It's not like they ever went anywhere, not like they ever got delivered, not like they ever got worked into the really, really cute needle cases that I saw and I was no, I didn't do any of that. But they're still over there, so they kind of count. I also did not count Wicked Christmas because that is, it's a WIP in that it started and it's not abandoned, but it's not on a Q-snap. It's not on, I can't just pick it up right now and start working on it. Well, I do have tension hoops. I'm really starting to like the tension hoops more. They're tighter because tension. My Q-snaps, I think I had seen a thing once that people put their Q-snap clamps in the dishwasher on hot, and it kind of tightens them up again and gets them all nice and clampy. I think I need to do that. I don't have a dishwasher because I live in 1874. But I wonder if I could do it with just really, really, really hot sink full of water and get them to tighten up again. Because at this point, I'm putting like 2 or 3 layers of felt under them, and they're still all slippy and weird. And I'm having tension issues, people. I've got tension in all the wrong places. You may have noticed that I changed my channel name. I have been thinking about doing that for a long time. The reason I had named the channel Stitching Shadows in the first place was that it was supposed to support the Etsy store that I was opening. And the shadows mentioned were more the idea of, spiritual or magical shadows, like you would think about a book of shadows, only you're stitching your shadows instead of reading them or whatever. It made sense in my head at the time. Anyway, I never opened the shop. I own it. I mean, I have it. I've been paying my 31 cents a quarter or something like that to keep it going. But there's nothing in it, and there's probably not going to be anything in it soon. So why drag the name around? So I figured I have become a cautionary tale for many people in many aspects of my life. Because generally, if you're looking for the right thing to do, just find out what I did, and then don't do that. Same goes for stitching. So yes, the dumpster fire continues to burn. We're going to embrace it. We're naming a channel after it. I am your cautionary tale. Shout out to the 6 people who thumbs downed my video last week. I can only assume it's because I brought up the absolute embarrassment of a president. People, there are kids in cages. There are people who don't have enough food. There is a debate over whether 6-year-olds should have medical care. You have other things to spend your energy on than thumbs downing my video. Go do something useful. I have been reading posts in the Stitchnanigans 2020 Facebook group. I'm actually kind of surprised that there is not more chatter in there. There's some, and one of the more recent posts is McKenna telling us about the Smalls Exchange, which I was absolutely positively not going to do because don't need the pressure. Look at my face. But now I'm thinking of maybe doing it. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get everything together and done and then sign up kind of thing. Because that way I'm not signing up and then now I have a deadline and now I have to freak out and now I have to, because if I start it and don't finish it and never signed up in the first place, no one needs to know. Except everybody who watches the videos. I can live with that. So yeah, I started to go through my small patterns and my not so small patterns, and I started going through some of the old PDFs that I have, the magazines, because, part of me thinks I should make something that I like and give it to somebody saying, here, this is something that I think is lovely and I hope you do too. So it's like taking a little piece of me home with you. Not in a, serial killer kind of way, but the other part of me is saying maybe what you should do is do something a little more universal appealing so that whoever ends up getting it would possibly, I don't know, like it. So I don't know. I will have to figure it out. That's my task. I am getting a little overexcited about going. To the point that people are kind of looking at me like, yeah, we know. April, you're going away. We know. Stop talking about it. I've started making little lists. I keep looking at my my rolly suitcase and thinking maybe I want a new rolly suitcase because this one looks like gross. And I don't know, maybe I just want a new one. Or maybe I want to use the existing one and I want to spend some money on one of those Halo battery pack things that Gary was talking about on Fiber Talk, not Fiber Friends. They're very nice people. I watched one of those. They seem very nice. But Fiber Talk was where it was at for me. It's got me some Vana most of the time. You know how I feel about Vana. But Gary was talking about this portable battery pack that, like, you've seen them for charging your cell phone and stuff. This is like a beefier model. And you could actually plug in a lamp, like with a regular plug to it, you know, or it's got USB ports and things like that. But if you go to a retreat, now you're not dealing with like having to plug in extension cords and, you know, power strips and people tripping over things. You've got this little brick and, you know, next to your lamp, and you can plug it in. And that sounds like a really awesome idea to me, because I need light when I stitch. And I have absolutely no idea what light will be like in a venue in Arizona. I could either err on the side of caution and start a whole bunch of stuff on 14 count, or I can bring my little portable, I don't think it's an actual hot light. It may be like a knot light, but I have one and I like it, and it sits on the tabletop, or you can clip it to the tabletop, and I think it would travel well, and this seems like a really good idea. So I'm making lists. Okay, guys, I think that is it for me and my mini-WIP parade for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes. Yes, and even the dislikes. You're welcome here too. And thank you for your comments. I read them all and I love them all. Thank you for being my community. Bye, guys.